Fox News came out of the closet today. Everyone with 2 bits of sense always knew they were a Republican propaganda machine, but today they made it official. Bloomberg News reported that News Corp, the parent company of Fox News Channel, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Post, donated $1 million to the Republican Governors Association. Now that they're open about their orientation, they are free to get in bed with any Republican they like, and they've already taken full advantage. In the recent Iowa caucus poll of Republicans, Mike Huckabee came in number 1, Newt Gingrich was number 3, and Sarah Palin was number 4. All of them Fox News employees. In case you were wondering, Mitt Romney came in second, and Fox is Facebooking him as we speak. According to Bloomberg, News Corp's gift is the largest from any corporation to the Republican Governors Association. How's that for fair and balanced? Is this any surprise given that the president of Fox News is Roger Ailes, who was a media consultant for Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and Richard Nixon? Nixon would have been so proud. Fox News does on a daily basis what Nixon could only dream of doing to his enemies in the press. Now, remember when the White House was considering banning Fox News and the rest of the media jumped all over them saying, how can they possibly do that to a news organization? Do you get it now? They don't do news. They do propaganda. Did Newt get challenged when he said this outrageous statement just yesterday on Fox News?
Nazis don't have the right to put up a sign next to the Holocaust Museum in Washington. We would never accept the Japanese putting up a site next to Pearl Harbor. There's no reason for us to accept a mosque next to the World Trade Center.
By the way, there's a Japanese cultural center in Honolulu. I looked it up today. Apparently Fox News didn't. So, how about when Barbie Girl pushes her latest attacks on Obama and the Democrats on Fox News as well?
This leader of the free world has such power in his words. He should utilize that power in the word to represent the will of the people and not underestimate the wisdom of the people in America. And the overwhelming majority of Americans right now are saying, Mr. President, no, this hurts. This is a slap to those innocent victims who were murdered that day on 9/11.
How about when Huckabee asked if Obama is going to start Armageddon?
Are we now living in the end times from your perspective?
Very definitely, Governor. I believe that what we see around us, for example, the 3 major issues of our day are the global government, global economy, and global religion. And those are the 3 legs of the stool of globalism.
Funny how that all changed right after Bush left office. How they never asked that question about, the end times while Bush was around. That sounds fair and balanced, right? Then there's the Fox News support/creation of the Tea Party movement.
This year, Americans across the country are holding tea parties to let politicians know that we've had enough. Celebrate with Fox News. This is what we're doing next Wednesday.
I love that. Celebrate with Fox News. Don't you get it? They're on a seek and destroy mission with the Democratic Party. Their viewers know that, and they love it. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a free country. All we want is truth and labeling. Democrats should go on Fox as soon as Fox admits, yes, we are with the opposition party. We are conservatives and proud. No shame in that. Come out. Tell your friends and family. Don't worry. They'll accept you for who you are. But the most important thing is that the rest of the news media not take their stories at face value. Fox News has a purpose to help the Republican Party. They do it with their programming, they do it with their anchors, they do it with the stories that they push into the mainstream media, and now they're doing it with their money. How much clearer does it have to be? All right, well, you tell me what you think in our telephone survey today. The number to dial is 877-ED-MSNBC. My question tonight is, do you think political candidates should be on the Fox News payroll? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. I'll bring you the results later in the show. Joining me now is Nathan Daschle. He's the executive director of the Democratic Governors Association. Nathan, it appears that Fox News is your opposition. What are you going to do about that?
Cenk, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, in what is arguably the most important election in a generation, this is a gross violation of the whole notion of an independent media. I mean, this would be similar to the Super Bowl referee betting on the outcome. I think what we saw today is Fox News actually make a movement from a media organization to a political organization. We always knew they held conservative viewpoints, but we never knew that they were actually going to inject $1 million to seeing the defeat of Democratic governors.
I mean, when you consider that, why would a Democratic governor or candidate, or any Democrat really across the country, go to on a news network where they just paid money to your opponent?
You know, it's a good question, and I think you said it right in the outset, that the real answer here is that we ought to just recognize Fox News for what it is. It is literally the mouthpiece of the Republican Party. And, you know, your point about going on Fox News is interesting, because today I've tried to get on Fox News numerous times. I've tried to get on there and ask them why they think it's appropriate for a media organization that claims to be fair and balanced to be giving $1 million, the single largest corporate donor of the RGA, to defeating Democratic governors. And I couldn't get a single response.
You know, there's another issue here, too, which is that the corporations can now come and buy whatever they like. So it could have been Fox News. It could have been another corporation that says, oh, you know what? I'd like to put in $1 million, $10 million, $100 million. It's still a good investment. I'm just going to give it to the Republicans, and you Democrats are out of luck. Do you have a plan for that? I know it's a tough question, but how do you deal with that?
Well, I got to tell you, I had not anticipated until today having to fundraise from news corporations. But I tell you, the most interesting thing about all this is that Fox News got it wrong. Apparently, they're spending way too much on political contributions and not enough on their research. Their spokesperson said that the reason they gave to RGA was because of RGA's pro-growth agenda. Well, they didn't see that the recent study that just came out that had the 10 worst economies, 8 of those have Republican governors.
Yeah, well, of course, they don't care about that. That's their excuse. That's their fig leaf.
Right. This isn't about policy. Right. This is about politics.
All right, Nathan, let me ask you one last time. I mean, I know it happened today, and it's a tough thing, right? But it looks like they've declared war on you guys. How do you fight back? Because they're a news organization. At least they have this giant media microphone, and you guys are a political party. So what do you do?
Well, you're right. I mean, I think today what they said to the world is that we're not even going to try to maintain this facade anymore of impartiality. We're not even going to try to pretend we're objective. We are here to see the defeat of Democratic candidates. And I think the answer is twofold. First, Fox ought to stop using the phrase fair and balanced until either they ask for their money back or they give us $1 million. And second, we all ought to condemn this for what it is. I ought to condemn it. You ought to condemn it. Bill O'Reilly, Glenn Beck, if they had any character, they would condemn this. And they would also tell Fox News, don't undermine my credibility. Because what Fox News has done now is they've showed the world that these talking heads on Fox News are simply spokespeople for the RNC.
Right. Nathan, thank you. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Right. And I want everybody to keep in mind, too, that News Corp is mainly a news corporation. So it's not just even a giant company. It's specifically a news corporation. It does have other facets to it. But now let me bring in Eric Bollert. He's a senior fellow at Media Matters for America. Eric, what do you think distinguishes Fox News from the other media outlets?
I thought I was going to say from the Republican Party. I was laughing because it's impossible. There's no daylight anymore, and now they don't apparently care who knows it. What distinguishes them from the other news outlets is they don't do news. I mean, it's that simple. Years ago, 5-6 years ago, they were a conservative news outlet. They presented the news in a conservative-friendly way. Ever since inauguration day with Obama, they have become the opposition party. They are picking the candidates. As you pointed out, they essentially created the Tea Party movement. I mean, if there was any logic to this, it would be the Republican Party donating $1 million to Fox News, not the other way around.
Right, and Fox News also does the indirect donation by giving Sarah Palin a lot of money, Newt Gingrich a lot of money, Mike Huckabee a lot of money, while they wait to run for president. So that's there's that angle to it, too. But let me throw the same questions at you.
Yeah.
What's the Democratic Party supposed to do? I mean, how do you fight back against this?
Well, I mean, I think the White House sort of started getting it right last fall. As you pointed out, they declared Fox News is not a legitimate news organization, and as you noted, there was a sort of this freak out within the Beltway press. Let's have a do-over. Let's see who among the Beltway media elite after today specifically will stand up and say, yeah, we think Fox is really doing great news. They're not doing news. They're doing propaganda. They're the opposition party. Party. And now everyone really, this is yet another example of why everyone should understand that.
Right, Eric, real quick, I mean, is that the bottom line here? Is it up to the rest of the media to say, hey, look, it's okay, you can be conservative media.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Just, we're not going to take your news at face value like you're any other news organization. We're going to say, okay, that's the conservative spin on this, and then put it in its proper context. Would that really help? Would that be the main answer?
I think it would help. I think if they look at what Fox News does and see it's no different than the right-wing blogosphere, it's no different than what Bill Kristol's magazine does. It's purely partisan right-wing media. It's purely GOP propaganda. And if people want to see that for what it is, that's fine. Let's just end the charade about it being a news organization.
All right, Eric Bowler, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters. Speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her position.